Smart, elegant, with an old school twist, despite this lollipop color, which is rather bold and might not be everybody's cup of tea. I'd go for the green. But anyway, let's have a look at the engine. Just kidding. This is actually boot space, and the engine is at the back. And here is our glorious engine. We actually can't open the cover. We can open this small flip to change the oil. But underneath, we've got a 3-liter flat-six turbocharged petrol engine, and Carrera 4S stands for all-wheel drive. Carrera 2S stands for rear-wheel drive. Now, the engine produces 450 horses and 530 Newton meters of torque. But as we know, Porsche horses feel a little bit different. But how different? And is the 911 truly legendary? 1, 2, 3. I am wearing a different dress because it's a different day. Last time I was filming, I did not bring my external antenna, and my measuring kit wouldn't pick up the GPS signal. Turns out the windows here are so thick, all for our comfort. Anyway, today it is super windy. Excuses have begun. Never mind. You can do launch control in this car in every single driving mode except for the rain, wet. Makes sense. And it is very simple. Brake, throttle, and it gets activated. The best part, you can do it over and over and over again. The engine does not need cooling off. In many cars, oh, it sure does. Anyway, without further ado, let's put you into Sport Plus mode, foot on the brake, hard, throttle, launch control activated. Pulls you in your seat. And it's over. So the declared 0 to 100 is 3.4 seconds, and I am 3.42. Considering the strong wind, this ain't bad. The launch system here is absolutely brilliant. The way the gearbox, the engine, they get it together is just it's a symphony. It's beautiful. I mean, and you know what? Porsche horses do feel different, because I can't think of another car with 450 horsepower all-wheel drive system, not a hybrid, not an electric, that can be this quick. I reckon without the strong wind I could do probably about 3 seconds, because I'm this good. No, it's because this thing is. I always thought of myself as this elegant, well put together lady that is now getting more mature, a little bit more relaxed. But oh no, not here. All of this just went out of this pink window, and it's like some sort of a devil enters my body. Now you see, in many cars, when you approach a corner, you slow down, you become a little bit more cautious so that you don't wrap your teeth around the very next tree. But oh no, not here. Here, when you see a sharp corner like this, what you do? You floor it. More, faster, boom. Oh, you see, I am losing it. Worst thing, I don't see a problem with it, because I've seen what is happening with men in this car. So my father enjoys cars, but he literally stole my keys and took off. So I know it's not just me that is going absolute bananas here. Now the response from the engine and the gearbox, God almighty, it kicks in instantly. It is like the perfectly synced relationship, and the way this car holds on and grips the road is absolutely immense. We do have rear differential, which means sending power to whichever wheel that has the most grip. Funny enough, speed here actually gives you confidence. We do have rear wheel steering, which means stability at higher speeds and better maneuvering skills at lower speeds. Now, because it's a German car, we do have stability control. It does come in handy when you go just a little bit too stupid. Otherwise, it does not interfere with the performance and you are in full control of this car. So the Sport Chrono Pack gives you more performance out of both the engine and the gearbox. And when you press this button for 20 seconds, you get maximum performance. And God almighty, what a delight this is. So the weight of this car, 1,565 kilograms. Automatic gearbox, all-wheel drive system, it all adds up. Yet the handling, yeah, it is perfection, okay? And so is this 8-speed automatic gearbox. In the normal mode, the gear change is seamless, smooth, very silky. But in Sport and Sport Plus, still smooth, but you do get that nice poke of energy in the back. Just to remind you, you're not driving some pussy car, you're driving a 911. So this car was designed to be a daily driver, and I dare to say it is actually quite comfy. The only time you will feel quite a firm suspension is when you're going over speed bumps. But as you're driving, you hear the beautiful sound of this gorgeous engine. When you pick up quite a bit of speed ease, there's a little bit of tire noise. But have you seen the size of my tires, especially the back ones? They are like this massive barrels, so factoring that in, it's not bad at all. The steering is relatively heavy, laser sharp, precise, but it is not tiring. It is really nicely balanced. We've got a pretty good turning circle for maneuvering in and out of car parks or driving through roundabouts. And the rear wheel steering really comes in handy. The visibility in the front is pretty good. The back window as well, so, but hey, you've got brilliant camera, so be just fine. Now the brakes, they're not too grabby, they're not too greedy, they are just right. Okay, so 1.6 tons, 450 horsepower, performance out of this world, and this car got beaten up in the last couple of days. And I'm talking maximum top speed, launch control, recording sound, so yeah, a fair dose of excitement, and I'm still averaging 13 to 14 liters. On a long distance journey, 11 liters. And no, it's not a joke, it's just a Porsche. The cabin is gorgeous and the style really continues from the outside. Elegant, classy, especially with this analog central rev counter, to very modern with this minimalistic central console. The driving position is on point. I'm quite tall, 1.7 meters, 5.8. I've got plenty of headroom, which means even if you're very tall, you'll be just fine. The seats are comfy, but boy oh boy, they hold your body when you decide to go off flying. In terms of storage and practicality, there are a few pockets, but you know, don't expect too much. This is a sports car, so smaller bottles are fine. Nice Alcantara steering wheel with aluminium paddle shifters. You've got a swivel to change your driving modes very quickly. I like that. Digital driver display, it's very extensive. In fact, it's so extensive that you can't actually see the whole thing because the steering wheel obscures the view, so you can't see what the temperature is, the time. You have to go left and right. Now, your fuel range, okay. What's funny, if you flick it to navigation, the actual arrow where you are is right behind the steering wheel. I thought only the Italians were capable of doing this, but looks like the Germans are also very talented. Okay, onto the infotainment system, which is easy, straightforward, very, very intuitive, okay. You can plug in Apple CarPlay or Android. You don't need a cable, actually do that wirelessly. Let's have a look at the graphics. Crisp, crystal clear, rapidly responds to the touch of your finger. Okay, very good. Now down here you've got the shortcut buttons. You can actually electronically adjust your suspension. So raising front end for any curbside parking, no problem. It's actually very practical to live with this car on a daily basis, okay? Down here, we've got shortcut buttons, so traditional swivel for your volume, okay? You've got the levers for your temperature. I like that. You don't fiddle with the screen in a car like this. You don't want to be doing that because you want to be focusing on the road, not on the system. So that's very cleverly designed. Petite key lever, I like that. Shortcut buttons for your seat heating, seat cooling, okay? The leather quality is just, I mean, it's so soft. It looks, it feels, it smells absolutely divine. Now, we do have back seats, but I actually think even my cat would complain about the lack of space. I'm not quite sure. Why is it there, Porsche? Anyway, we'll leave it at that. Fine. But what you can do, you see you've got the boot space in the front, 132 liters, and then the back you can lower the seats and actually can fit in a suitcase, or even a large suitcase and a small suitcase, so that's fine when you fold down the seats, okay? So there is a degree of practicality here. Come on, it's not all a disaster. Nice clock, I like that. Overall, the cabin is just, well, absolutely lovely. Let's hear it. Sport Plus mode. So some soul has been taken out thanks to the Greta and European Union Ursula army. Porsche tried to rescue it and plaster it through the speakers on the inside. Sounds a bit fake, but still very good actually. Now, speaking of sound, we have acoustic sensors on our wheel arches which listen to the weather and they look for raindrops, and they find some raindrops, they will flick you to wet mode automatically, where your gearbox and your engine is adjusted so that you don't spin around and round. So here it goes. I think this is the best daily sports car your money can buy. It is a magnificent piece of machinery. It's a before the facelift model. The new facelifted models are coming in as we speak, with the GTS being the first, so that's a hybrid. I haven't tried that one yet. Now, I must admit, I wanted to be different. I wanted to like this car just a little bit less. But that's the thing about love. You can plan and fight it all you want. But sometimes you just gotta give in and ride this lovey-dovey wave. Now, the 911 legend is not some sort of a hoax created by hardcore fans. No, it's a magic that's real and that's available to you if you can afford it. As for me, I absolutely blimmin' love it. This car makes me so emotional. Who would have known a German can do it? But there you go. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!